this team you guys are playing this week?
Not a lot. I haven't seen him in a long time now. No, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's already been a little bit weird, honestly. Starting the game plan, talking about the defense, and then seeing them on tape. I've never obviously game planned for our defense, so or the Vikings defense, I should say. So it's definitely different, but obviously it's just football. And before the game, it'll be a lot of catching up, but then once the game starts, it's football, and I'm excited to go and compete.
Speaking of game planning, I mean, you said it's weird, but are you also giving tips to the other side of the ball when it comes to this matchup?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of tips I can give on the Vikings defense, just because it's a new staff on defense. There's some, obviously I know a lot of the players, but it's a lot different scheme than I had seen in the past there. There's some stuff on offense, but from what I've seen on tape, they're doing a lot of different stuff, and they're trying to evolve as an offense as well. So, but yeah, I mean, every week, you kind of try to give your input of if there's a team that you've played a lot, some of those old division teams that I played against in Minnesota, you try to give that insight, and no different here.
Frank said his advice to you would be, don't get too emotional. Is that kind of going through your mind at all? What's going to be like when you get on the field on Sunday?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that since the schedule came out, right? Like, was I excited that I get to play against Minnesota? Yeah. But I'm just trying to treat it like another football game. I know that's very cliche to say, but I'm, like I said, I'm gonna take advantage of pregame to be able to go and say what's up to everybody, throughout the organization. I mean, shoot, I was there for 10 years, so a lot of relationships that I built that are strong relationships that I'm excited to go and see those people and say hello and thank them and tell them how much I appreciate them. And then when that whistle blows and I get between those lines, I'm playing football like I do every week.
And Frank said, because he obviously has the same experience going back to Buffalo, he said going to the city is completely different. And how much easier is it to manage that they're kind of coming to you and you don't have to kind of walk in that building?
Yeah, I think that would be really difficult probably to walk into US Bank Stadium. But at the same time, Vikings fans travel pretty well, so I think there'll be a lot of Vikings fans here, and a lot of people that I know, and so it's going to be a definitely emotional day, but I'm excited to just go out and play football. And I think when that whistle blows and I'm in between those lines, I'm not thinking about anything other than just trying to catch the football.
Adam, aside from this game, what have the last 6 months or so been like for you and your family to live in a new place, new part of the country, really for the first time? And what has that been like for you guys?
Yeah, it's been obviously a huge transition for us. It's been a lot different. For me personally, I've kind of felt like a rookie again. Kind of gave me the opportunity to have to go out there and prove it every single day, because these people don't know in this organization, the players, they don't know what I can do. They don't know who I am as a person or a player. So every day just going out there and proving it, which has been a good thing for me. For my family, it's put a lot of weight on my wife, just trying to figure out all the little details with having 3 kids and school and all that and activities. So it's been a lot on her, but she's handled it unbelievably. I'm thankful. It's actually her birthday today, so happy birthday to my wife. So very thankful for her, and has made the transition really smooth. I mean, our kids are thriving. They're loving school and their activities, and as a parent, that's all you can ask for. Sometimes it's tough as a dad when you're in the football season because you're busy and you don't get to be around as much as you'd love to. But man, to see them thrive and pick them up from my boy from school, and he absolutely loves school. That's all you can ask for. So it's been good.
The point of proving yourself in this new organization, how big was that game Sunday at Seattle for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to make too much on one game. I think it's just a cumulative effect, like the more you can prove what you can do, right? I look back to when I was a young player, right? And you go out there and you play well and you prove it in one game. Now there's just more trust, whether that be from the quarterback, whether it be from your teammates, whether that be from the coordinator. There's just more trust when you're out there making plays. So I've always tried to take that mentality into every day of practice. And then in games, obviously, it's huge to be able to go out there and prove it. And that's kind of the mentality I'm going to continue to carry on and just focus on each day and one day at a time. But I don't want to put too much on one game, because I've been there before, right? You have a good game, feel confident, and then this game will humble you quickly. So just go back to work and find a way to get better.
Adam, you were there for a decade, like you said, and there's a certain comfort level playing with Kirk and being in that offense. Why did you come to Carolina?
Well, they released me, and so I didn't really have a choice. But yeah, I mean, and then after that, it was just it felt like a great fit. Which, man, I'm so blessed to be here. Obviously not the start we wanted, but that has nothing to do with how I feel about this organization, this team, these players, these coaches, and I'm so blessed to be here. And I really do believe I had said to you guys before that God led me here. There was a reason why I'm here, and I feel that every single day. I'm very thankful for that.
Was there even a moment when you thought maybe 10 years is enough? Let me just let it be 10 years with one team and not go to another place.
I'd be lying if there wasn't thoughts at some points of last season that I thought maybe it was it. But then I just felt like I still had a lot to give to this game, and I really prayed about it. I talked about it with my wife, and just felt like I had a lot more to give. And that's not necessarily just meaning on the football field. That means from just being in that locker room. I just feel like God has got me in this locker room, in a locker room, for a reason. And it's not just to go out there and make plays. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Do you have any understanding at this point as to why you do feel God led you here?
Yeah, I mean, there was just so many signs. I feel like it was just, along the way there was so many signs. Now that I've been here, there's just been so many signs to say that this is where I'm supposed to be. And there's a mission here for me, much bigger than football. And I'm trying to focus on that every single day. But, sometimes you get caught up in football and all that. But you try to just be the same person every single day, no matter what. But, yeah, there's been so many signs. And every day I wake up, I'm like, man, I'm in the right spot.
Is there an example that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, I think just some of the relationships I've been able to build here so quickly. And whether it be with coaches, players, staff, you just feel it. And just with my family, like the little things with my boy, my oldest son, picking him up from school and without me even asking, saying, "Dad, I love school." Like that stuff, like, man, that's pretty cool. So, and it's been awesome.
And without, with them being unable to restructure your contract and then the release, I mean, is there any part of you that kind of, wants a little vengeance against them?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain kind of the emotions of everything. Is there a little bit? Yeah, maybe, but I'm not the type of person to hold grudges. I just think that it just is what it is, right? And I'm happy where I'm at, and I think for me it's just I can't look at the past. I'm just focusing on the now. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of emotions, right? We're emotional beings. You're gonna have emotions, but really, just I'm trying to be just the same person every single day and focus on where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing.
Adam, you mentioned how happy your oldest kid is now. What was that when you delivered the news that you guys were leaving Minneapolis? What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I think they were a little confused. I think they were, they grew up Vikings fans. I mean, they grew up in that every single day, going to the facility. We drive by the facility. There's the Viking Stadium, and so they grew up in that mindset. So I think they were a little confused at first, but then I think it made it more real when we were able to come here when I signed and they were able to run on the field and all that, and it made it a little bit more real for them. But yeah, it's definitely been different. And then my youngest son, he is actually on flag football team is the Vikings. So when he found out that he was on the Vikings, he's like, "What? Like, you can't cheer for me now because I'm on the Vikings?" So I had to explain to him that I can still cheer for him. But yeah, it's been good.
Who's their favorite Vikings player and favorite Panthers player?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my oldest son scored a touchdown in flag football on Saturday, and he did the gritty. So that probably shows you who his favorite player is. He's a big Justin fan. I'm pretty sure he wanted Justin's jersey over mine, but and then Panthers player, I'm not really sure. Maybe Burns, just because he does the Spider-Man. I think they like that. So
How good was the gritty?
It was actually, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
How
All right.
old is he?
He's about to be 7. Yeah.